Yes, that's the one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fun Show. Today is March 28th. We are missing our third person, heartbreakingly. Arch, we're thinking about you and hope to see you again soon. Today will just be Mike and I. Mike Sallin over here on the keyboard is our illustrious producer.
Thank you.
Musical composer, actor, I don't know, general amazing person.
If Ben has me sweeping up, it might happen.
Yes.
So, okay.
Isn't it your turn to sweep up? I think it is. And I'm Kira Miner. And
I
we're
can
going to
sweep
just
up at the end.
current
I go back
event
to
ya.
the room. Yeah. Oh, what I forgot last week.
Oh, you're going to play an Irish ditty.
No, first well, for him.
Oh, wait, this is for Arch. Dedicated to Arch. You have to sing the words, though.
Well, he'll sing it for, we hope, next week.
Yes.
Now comes.
I know, this is today's ditty.
We missed. That's for all our
Nice.
friends out there. We hope the two people that are watching.
All two of
We're in the
you.
Easter parade. Now, what about Easter eggs? Do you ever eat an Easter egg?
You know, in my day, I've definitely eaten some Easter eggs.
They're not chocolate inside. They're
You know,
hard-boiled eggs.
it's just a term. It's a
I
term
know.
that encompasses a lot of different kinds of eggs. It could be an egg, it could be a plastic egg.
Yeah,
it could be a chocolate egg.
Oh, a chocolate egg
So
would
it could be all kinds of. So as it relates to
Yeah.
Easter eggs, I've definitely eaten my fair share.
Okay.
How about you?
I haven't had that luck.
No?
No, I didn't.
Does it have something to do
hard-boiled
with
eggs?
being Jewish, possibly? Is
Well,
that, you know?
Passover comes and we eat hard-boiled eggs then. So.
Okay, but those aren't Easter
No,
eggs,
no.
though.
On the other hand, the Last Supper, according to the Bible, was the night of the Seder,
Okay.
and Jesus mentions that. As a matter of fact, it's Passover, and the wine and the bread, which is the matzah. It's my father always called it corrugated cardboard.
Yes.
And of course it's what, powder, flour with a little water. And
that's it.
Maybe a touch of salt.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Definitely very dry and crumbly.
But
The gluten-free ones are really good, though.
That's coming up for us
It is.
next month.
So are we going to have some Easter eggs on Passover? Is that, you want me to color some eggs for you, and I'll decorate them with little
No, I don't think so.
and-
No, I don't think so. I would boil. I have in the past. I have boiled up a lot of eggs.
Okay.
And when they get hard, I'll take them out. Rini will help, and I'll make egg salad.
Excellent. How do you make egg salad?
Well, I make it. I chop it up with eggs.
Yeah.
By the way, and I use mayonnaise.
Okay, mayonnaise. Very good.
And sometimes pieces of celery, depends.
Okay.
And sometimes little pieces of pickle, sweet pickle.
Okay. I would be more for dill pickle, but I'm seeing where you're going with this, though.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be tasty. Okay.
When was the last time you made that?
Oh, I don't know. Probably 4 months ago. 5
Okay.
months ago. Yeah, I'll do it.
I think I'm inspired. I'm going to go home and make some egg salad.
Yeah, I like that. It's a nice treat. I do it when we finish as much of the chicken as we have eaten at home. I cut it up and make chicken salad out of it and do similar things with it.
Okay.
Well, every newspaper has these big sections about food.
Okay.
So I read it,
Good.
and you know, men
And
write.
it inspires you.
I don't know if my son tries to do gourmet cooking. He does. He really is good at it.
Excellent.
Yeah, he saw.
What's his specialty?
For me, when he was stationed in Spain, he was a dentist over there, and in a fighter squadron, which I liked. Anyways, he made. I never tasted it before. Was carrot cake,
Okay.
and it was great.
Love carrot cake.
Yeah. Well, there you are.
Excellent.
Okay, and I hope President Obama and his family, when they were in Cuba, I hope they had a chance to eat some of the Cuban food. I'm sure they
I
had a
bet
little.
they did. I bet they had the finest Cuban food that could be had.
What do you think of that visit with him?
I think it was really important. I think it made a difference. I think it, changed the energy of what has been going on there for the last, 80 years or something like that.
This writer in the New York Times called it Mr. Obama's last tango.
Hey, if it's his legacy,
Yeah.
so be it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it.
Why not? And then he went on to Argentina. And
I heard
think
that.
it was a good idea to go both.
Well, didn't he time the Argentinian visit? Wasn't something special happening about that? Wasn't an anniversary of something special going on down there?
I can't remember all of that. I read about what you're saying, but at the same time, we had this thing in Belgium,
Yeah.
the bombings.
It's so tragic.
And it seems, according now to the stuff I'm reading, that they might have caught them before if they paid attention to the intelligence reports they were getting.
Yeah.
But they.
Well, this is the kind of thing that's going to motivate the governments to start sharing more information. That's the whole argument is
It
that
is, it is.
there was not cross information. They would have figured out, they would have caught this guy at the Turkish border when they ran his passport if more information was being
And then
shared.
he came back and he was living in the district where they were hunting the whole time, and he was right there. I don't know, the whole thing, I hate that stuff, but it's what's happening, I guess. Yesterday there was a children's playground in Islamabad in Pakistan. There was a suicide bomber who hit this park with his stuff, and I don't know. The Taliban from Afghanistan, a terrorist organization, has taken responsibility for doing that. But why? Why attack a place with all these children on swings and?
They don't care. It's about terror. They're terrorizing. They're saying that nobody is safe, and you're not special, and your children aren't special.
We got that
heartbreaking.
message loud and clear, and
they're going to keep delivering it as long as there's
Yeah.
people to support it. I was listening to the news on my way in, and I thought something stood out to me, that young Muslim children don't see the violence as strange.
No,
I'm not saying all, but relative to what I heard, it was kind of shocking that.
well, if they're living over there in the middle of all this,
But even those not.
here in our country,
I
and
think it was in the UK. I think the story was in the UK, but still, you take the kids out of that environment, but yet it's still bred into the mentality.
yeah, well, they see it on the news, true.
And their
and then
families,
they
who
got
knows what they say at home.
And then if the father and the mother are sympathetic or empathize with this stuff, and it comes through, and unfortunately, there's not enough to counter it in the classrooms, and of course the kind of cultural integration that's necessary doesn't happen in all
No.
of this, and there's unemployment in these little. And it tends to be almost a little ghetto where all of the people in this one group, Muslim group, live together, and all of the, and they're not included in the culture. It's I don't know what the answer is. They become radicalized very easily, I don't know. I can't answer that.
I can't. I don't think anyone can. That's the problem.
Well, it's troublesome.
It's out of control. It's not contained in any way.
Trump says, okay, just keep him out of the country, and
The
the
thing
other
is, who
guys.
cares what Trump says?
And Cruz says we have to watch them. We have to put people in all these communities and watch them day and night.
Well, and this is why Hillary's going to become our president.
Well,
No,
I don't know.
that's how that's going to go.
Bernie keeps winning.
Well, he's got a long way to go to catch
Yeah,
up to Hillary.
he
It's not
does.
happening. It's just not going to happen.
Well, we'll see. And
He would have to gain some serious momentum in the next 2 months.
I think she's the most responsible.
She's the only one whose resume
yeah.
actually fits it. She's also the person who can step seamlessly into the job. She's been in the White House, Congress, and Secretary of State. She can walk right into that job. Who else could do that?
What I don't like is the position of a lot of people on TV over and over and over again. They always pick out the weakest things that have happened with her over and over, and they tend to say, but that Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders is the best one. And I think that Trump could beat him. I really, if Trump got the nomination, which we don't know about either.
That's going to be a riot.
Yeah. Well,
That's going to be so. In the end, that will all implode, and no matter what, Hillary's going to beat Bernie, and then Hillary's going to beat whatever mess the Republican Party presents.
You can't compare Trump and Cruz to Batman and Superman, can you?
No, I can't.
No.
Can you?
And unfortunately, the critics hate that movie.
I heard.
Batman and Superman.
But didn't it make gazillions and gazillions of dollars?
Here in America and also abroad, over 400 million they have made in the last week, I guess.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of
And
money.
a lot of it was made yesterday.
Yeah.
Because people had time on their hands.
Yeah, and evidently they liked the movie. It's entertaining. Okay.
I don't know that they liked it. They just went to watch it because it's Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
It's the classic superhero versus.
Okay.
So I don't think it had to be good to make the money.
Well, a lot of people are staying home on weekends and whenever they can, they're watching the basketball championships and the NCAA or whatever is the Final Four, whatever they call them. And I guess Syracuse has moved into that. I don't know what the other three are, but Syracuse is close enough. I even have a...
Are you rooting for someone in particular?
No, I'm not.
Are you paying any attention?
No.
So then why are we sharing these statistics with our two viewers?
Because Arch would have watched all that. He likes that.
This was for Arch. Understood.
And the Celtics are surviving. The Bruins are staying alive, but barely. And the Red Sox, we would say, who cares at this point? They have been spending huge amounts of money, and I don't think the present manager is the guy to lead them, the guy that they have. Farrell.
Is that? I've stopped paying
attention. I like
attention.
him as a human being, but I don't think he's the one that can snap them out of a lot of stuff.
So what are they going to do? You think his time is short-lived?
Yeah. If they don't start winning when the season starts.
You think they'll boot him out mid-season?
Well, yeah, I think they'll replace him.
Have they done that?
They've been in the cellar the last 2 seasons, the Red Sox. So it can't happen again. Okay, and then we got owner Kraft of the Patriots writing a wheedling letter to the commissioner, and the commissioner, it was no anyways. Why did he even send a letter? Arch. When he was here, he was boiling about the fact that owner Kraft didn't sue as Tom Brady did, take him to court. Well, that's another story.
That is. You have to save that one for Arch.
Then I was telling you about Williamstown, Kentucky, and AIG.
Oh, yes.
It's a
what does it stand for?
Creation. Well, it stands for Answers in Genesis.
Okay.
And they're building
This is the Bible theme park.
Yeah, and they already have an ark which follows
The Bible's specs.
dimensions.
So at 500 feet tall, 500 feet
500
wide?
feet long and
Okay.
about 75, 80 feet with 5 floors in this thing.
You know, I would
And
have
it's-
said I'd never want to do something like that, but now I want to see that. I think I don't know that I need to see it in person, though. Thank goodness for the internet.
Well,
I wish I could just Google and show everybody.
And they're
sitting
not
right here.
finished. They're creationists. But one of the reporters asked them, well, what about what about the evolution movement, which is kind of strong in science?
Ah,
And
what was
he
the
said-
answer to that?
He said, why would you ask? And he says, well, what are you going to do about dinosaurs? You say that people they'll have Adam and Eve, right at the beginning, and they'll have people like Noah. And then they're going to have the Tower of Babel or Babel.
Okay.
They're going to build that in this
Oh
park.
my goodness.
So it's
It's going to be interesting.
it's hundreds of millions of dollars, a huge amount of money they're spending. And evidently, a lot of people are really interested.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think
one-
it's playtime. I think
I
we're 1 minute behind.
okay, let's,
And we're going to, this is a long play, too.
yeah, well, we'll move through it. We're pretty good with it.
I think so. We're
Yeah.
gonna tackle this.
Okay,
All right.
so it's
So-
2 characters.
Yep. It's
And
called what? Dream Tale.
Yeah,
Dream Tale.
And you're playing Kiddo, or the child.
I'm the child, and you are going to be Uncle
Twitch, a character, a little. Nobody can be like Groucho, but this guy would be
Uncle
like
Twitch is as close to Groucho.
Yeah,
All
Uncle
right.
Twitch. Okay.
All right, here we go. Action. Sit up, Dolly, please.
Busy, very busy, very busy.
The dolly, Uncle Twitch.
Always something doing.
Why don't you go to bed, Uncle?
Mind your own business, drat that kid.
Read me a story from the newspaper?
I'm doing the crossword puzzle.
You don't care about me.
Here's the paper, and I'll play with the doll.
You know I can't read.
Yet. What about the comics?
It's always the same.
I cook, I clean, I keep a roof over your head.
What about now?
The kid never stopped complaining. What about me? What about me? Don't I deserve a life? Tote that barge and lift that bale.
I asked for a story and I get a musical.
The brat thinks she knows everything.
You look very tired, Uncle Twitch.
Work my phones to the finger.
Ha! You're a riot, Uncle Twitch.
And I'm only a babysitter. Ha ha.
When's my mother coming home?
She went out for milk and bread.
That was 3 years ago.
Well, maybe they were out of milk.
It's not funny, Uncle.
Suppose I wasn't here. Would that make you happy?
I'll still have a dolly.
So this is what it comes to, huh?
But you always say that, Uncle Twitch.
The trouble these eyes have seen, huh?
What's for dessert?
So that's how it is.
Ma got tired of parenting.
That's my sister you're slandering, kiddo.
She wanted to see the Panama Canal.
Could have put the menace into a foster home, I guess.
Does that mean I'd be an orphan?
Well, I'd be free.
You don't love
We
me.
went through this last week.
Yes, and you're terrible.
I'm still your uncle,
I want my
child.
mommy.
Just like a woman.
Aren't you worried at all?
Yes, and I haven't been well either lately.
You're mean, Uncle Twitch.
Mommy's all grown up.
You brute.
How dare you? If I've said anything I should be sorry for, good.
You're a cruel uncle.
You win.
A story, yay!
Okay, once upon a time there was a prince.
Why does there have to be a prince? Why can't the story begin with a monster?
Okay, once upon a time there was a monstrous prince. These kids today.
I suppose he lived in a palace?
No, he lived in a 3-story walk-up.
But he's a prince, and princes don't have to walk upstairs.
All right, his subjects carried him up.
Why wasn't there an elevator?
You said the secret word so you get a whack.
I don't want you to hit me.
It's part of the story, and we need someone to scream. W.C. Fields would love this.
Ouch, that hurt.
Will the kids sue?
Does the prince get to the third floor?
Of course, he uses the escalator.
Say, what kind of palace is that?
Actually, it's a condo with central heating and air. But anyway,
The king?
well, the prince's father, well, it's the regent.
What's that?
If you must know, the king and the queen got killed in a traffic accident. They were in the breakdown lane, and this drunk ran a red lantern, and his wagon got demolished with their carriage.
Yeah, but what's a regent?
Well, if you live in New York, it's an exam.
Why do you always avoid a simple, direct answer?
Okay, the regent told the prince to take a hike.
Oh, now I get it. The regent was like an older relative running the kingdom until...
Right.
So that's why the prince is living on the third floor. Got it. Check.
Not exactly. You see, he opened a pawn shop on the first floor with a room in the back.
I think a burger place would have been better, but a pawn shop? Ugh.
Well, it was a rundown neighborhood.
What's a pawn shop?
I knew we'd get around to that. It's a mom-and-pop store, I suppose.
But you said his father and mother were dead.
That's right, and he was having trouble with his gang.
They wanted money?
No, he wouldn't stop practicing his oboe. It was driving them nuts.
That's weird.
Yes, one day the princess was passing by.
Why?
She was a tourist, so she took out her flute and played a duet with him.
He fell in love with her music.
Yes, he ran outside, but it was too late. The princess and her caravan had gone.
I haven't heard a fairy tale like this one.
This is not about fairies.
Don't be childish.
You know all about that. Oh, and where did you learn all this?
From Mrs. Goosey, our third grade teacher at the Alice Harmony School.
Ought to be ashamed of themselves. It's disgraceful.
It's about real life.
This modern generation. Now, anyway, a beggar entered the prince's pawn shop.
You mean a homeless person?
Anyway, this homeless guy says he wants to pawn his face.
That's crazy. What about the princess? Was she beautiful?
Of course. So the prince gives him a couple of florins and sends him on his way.
See? The prince is kind.
The next to enter is a soldier with a letter from the regent.
Telling him to come home?
No, his lease is up and to get lost. So the prince has to hit the road again.
But that's not the way to treat the prince.
He's young and he wants to make it on his own. You know how kids are. Youth.
But it doesn't make sense.
So there he is, walking along, famished, and somebody is barbecuing. He's drawn to the wonderful odor. He approaches and asks for leftovers. Silence. They keep on barbecuing, so he says he'll clean up if only they'll give him a tidbit. Again, no sound.
I don't believe this.
He continues walking down the middle of the path, and a chicken stops him.
This is nutty.
For you, maybe, but the chicken understands and tells the prince to follow him.
Now you're giving me a talking chicken.
Well, the little devil. So the prince asks the chicken where they're going because he's had it. You can collapse here or you can follow me, says the chicken.
That's one mean chicken.
So the prince pulls himself up and then he hears it.
What?
Flute music.
It's the princess!
No, it's a gang of kidnappers who want to ransom the prince.
But who is playing the flute?
The princess. She's the head of the gang.
But she loves the prince.
Actually, she's a witch, so she turns the prince into a cat.
I can't keep up with this.
That's because you don't know what the prince dreamt before he left his pawn shop.
Okay. So tell me.
He dreamt he was a poor wizard who'd forgotten all his spells and charms.
Great. And now he's a cat.
Ah, but what kind of a cat? How many cats do you know who play the oboe?
Wild and wilder.
Yes, he became the first and only cat to play the oboe in the Royal Philharmonic.
And what about the kidnappers?
Why, when they heard him play, they forgot all about the ransom, and the princess changed herself into a flute-playing cat.
And they lived happily ever after?
No, he liked fish, so she left him.
And the regent?
He took the prince back and got the palace cleared of rodents.
I don't know if I like that story. It was strange. So many twists and turns. I never knew what was coming next.
Well, I am a talented son of a gun, aren't I?
Still, I think it was a lot of fun.
Thanks, kid. Wait till you hear me on the banjo.
I suppose there's a moral to all this.
If at first you...
At first you don't succeed.
Yeah, not bad, honey.
A bird in the hand is worth... No, that's not it. There's something you didn't tell me.
This youngster is deep, and now in my time,
Oh, come on. How boring can you get?
okay, if you give up faith, you can be redeemed by truth.
That's it?
You didn't tell me about truth.
I told you a story.
But it wasn't.
Sure, but it wasn't true.
Yo, you made up the story.
Nag, 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 nag.
Yeah, and you want me to figure it out, huh?
I think it's gonna rain.
It is raining in the
Wise
studio.
cracks, jokes, that's all I ever get.
You used to laugh at them.
Who do you think you are, Groucho?
Thought I looked like Jack Benny.
And you don't work like other fathers.
Home is my office.
All you do is answer the phone. Ring.
Oh, yes, 20 on Serenity in the 4th and Hialeah.
You're a bookie?
Who says so?
All my friends at school.
Who do you believe?
Just tell me the truth, Uncle Twitch.
So I'm a handicapper, a big deal.
I appreciate all the things you do.
Mommy will return soon, honey.
You always say that.
Tramp steamers are slow.
I'm a big girl now, Uncle.
Splendid, splendid, my dear.
You used to hug and kiss me more.
Even Shirley Temple grew up.
Don't you love me?
Truth, love. Next she'll want me to get married.
You have to live a more normal life, Uncle Twitch.
Now she's a therapist.
I know you have girlfriends.
Been talking to Gwendolyn again, huh?
She's sweet.
And a darn good cook.
She wants to come over Saturday night for dinner.
Yeah, she'll make us real dinner, real soup, roast beef, apple pie.
And we both like her.
Yes, little schemer wants a family.
It's only a suggestion.
Well, you've been doing all your homework, kid.
Gee, that's great, Uncle Twitch.
Next, she'll have me buying an engagement ring.
Blackout. All right.
All right.
With 4 minutes to spare.
4 minutes to spare, not bad.
No, not bad at all.
We got through
That
all
was
that.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And,
Uncle Twitch.
and the FBI says it doesn't need Apple to provide code to open up the San Bernardino terrorist
They
phone.
hacked into it.
Yeah.
You knew it was
That's
just a
good.
matter of time.
It worked good, okay.
And Apple didn't have to compromise.
they had
Are
a
they
credit-
dropping the lawsuit?
I don't know. Well, it's the FBI, and they told the judge if we can hold off on
Okay.
enforcing what you want to hear. Okay. Anyways, they had an article about practice makes perfect, but the New York Times writer said it, but it doesn't make talent. And then they had all
That's
these
true.
books and these people. Anyways, 10,000 hours of practice means you can't become a concert pianist.
Okay.
Okay, that's
So be it.
so. Talent is born or is it made? We don't. That I can't answer.
I think it just depends on the person. I think it can be evolved in the right person.
Yeah,
Don't you?
I think it could be.
We're going to have to sing pretty soon, but not
Pretty
yet.
soon, not yet.
We have another, like, minute.
And many colleges offer generous financial aid to good students from poor families. This is the sad part. Yet these kids don't know this before sending out applications. Why? Who's responsible for something like that?
The career department and the administration.
The what do you call those? The guidance counselor.
Exactly. I guess that's when I say career department. I guess
yeah,
guidance
but
counsel.
they're not
counselor.
doing their job.
No, they are not.
Because across the country, poor kids who have good marks can apply to excellent colleges like Harvard, who will give out lots of money, pay the whole thing, room and board and tuition, if they are selected. Well, anyways, it's
That's too bad.
It is too bad.
For the ones that are missing out.
And then
Uh-oh.
we're
We're
there,
out. Yeah,
huh?
we're out.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
almost.
All right. Well, we're almost there. I was going to talk about billionaires that are trying to get the other billionaires to donate as much money as they do
For what?
for people who need money.
Good night, Irene. We're going to not be able to sing. Good night, Irene. See you next week.
Good
Good
night,
night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams. Good night, Irene. Good night, everybody. We're out.
We're not out.
Well, we're almost out.
Okay, we're out.